right, good evening, everyone. Happy Friday night. Let's begin in mixed level yoga. I'm Michelle. Find a comfortable seat unless you have legs up the wall or some other restorative position that you prefer to start in right now. Could even be downward dog if you're feeling pretty high energy. Just take a moment to arrive. You might need to shift around a little bit. Even if you're sitting, you might want to circle out the spine or the head or the shoulders. Allowing the motion to be more subtle as your body finds stillness. And as you come into a still position in your body, begin to just become more aware of it. Perhaps with the eyes closed, scanning it. Notice if you can feel your breath moving. Observe how it's flowing. Deepening your attention to your own state of mind. Anything that you're feeling right now. Allowing yourself a moment to pause, and as many moments to pause in this practice of digesting what is, as you tune in with more awareness to the present moment. I like to begin referencing one of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali that deals with samadhi, which is within the levels of meditating, this deeper state of meditation, which some may call enlightenment. But there are even stages within that that are more preliminary. So this Yoga Sutra says that as you progress in your meditation, you become spontaneous and quick to distinguish right from wrong and good from bad. Your judgment becomes sharper and your decisions are free from doubt. As a result, you gain confidence in yourself, and that strengthens your power of will and determination. You are no longer afraid of the unknown. And this experience of Sabija Samadhi, which is one of the preliminary states of what we might call moving towards enlightenment, demands that you are vigilant and committed to infusing your mind with inner purity. You cultivate this inner purity by actively practicing compassion, kindness, dispassion, which can also mean non-attachment, and selfless service. So it comes not only from how you conduct your daily life, but also from balancing the practice of meditation with contemplation and self-reflection. It can become routine to compartmentalize yoga as this hour of moving my body, meditation as this moment of being still, paying attention to my mind. But I believe that that sutra brings it all together and just reminds us that our progression of becoming more aware, or what you might say enlightened, is using all these various tools and integrating them into our daily lives. Here's one more short reading from the book Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Miss. She talks about intuition, and she says that intuition, like all meditative disciplines, can be enormously effective if and only if one has the courage and personal power to follow through on the guidance it provides. Guidance requires action, but it does not guarantee safety. She kind of nudges us to play outside of our comfort zone. So long as we use comfort and security as our criteria of success, we will fear our own intuitive guidance, because by its very nature, it directs us into new cycles of learning that are sometimes uncomfortable. So as you sit with whatever you're feeling right now in your body, perhaps there's even some discomfort there in your thoughts, in your emotions. What needs to be digested right now? And perhaps through the physical practice of opening our bodies and our breaths, we can allow that in a more somatic way to be digested. And then at the end, as we sit for a few minutes of meditation, perhaps surfacing, we might find some insight to apply outside of this hour. Building our own ability to trust ourselves in this practice today, let's join the hands together at the heart. Breathing in, lift the heart space. Open the mouth, empty the breath. Again, a little deeper inhale. Perhaps sigh it out, open the mouth. This time for 1 Om to start. Inhale deeply. As you bring your left hand to your chest, your right hand to your lower belly, sit tall, ground the pelvis. Breathe into your palms, filling up your belly, your chest. Close the lips, softly narrow the back of your throat as you exhale a gentle whisper out through your nose. Breathing in, breathing out. Listen to that sound and know by balancing that sound of your breath, you help to maintain a sense of balance in your physical exertion and your mental focus. So tuning into that Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breathing. Gently open your eyes and let's come down to all fours, hands and knees. As we set up to move the spine, set your knees right under your hips. Walk your wrists a couple inches in front of your shoulders and spin out your hands so that your fingertips to some degree turn out, maybe to the outer sides of your mat or towards your knees, giving your inner wrists and forearms a stretch. Now with your next in-breath, begin to stretch the lower spine away from the pelvis, then coil your chest up, roll your shoulders back and down. As you exhale, scoop the belly up towards the back, tucking the tailbone under your body as you drop the skull. Again, inhale to lengthen your lower spine, arching right under the shoulder blades as you broaden the chest up. Exhale, contract the belly. Feel the tailbone tilt under the body as you drop the head. Keep going. A few more cycles of cat-cow or Bitalasana, or any other way that your body is just asking you to move, utilizing your felt sense. Then eventually spinning your index fingers to both face forward parallel to each other. Spread your thumbs flat. Tuck your toes behind you, feet at least hips width apart. Bend your knees a lot while lifting your pelvis up and back. As you drop your skull, push the ground away with your hands and straighten through the arms, lifting the shoulders away from the neck. Take a moment if you need to shift around by pedaling your feet, swiveling your hips side to side, shaking or nodding your head. Again, tuning into that calm sound of your breath. Now having your feet parallel, lift your hips as high as possible, perhaps by bending your knees. Press your chest back towards your shins. Rotate the outer sides of your upper arms downward towards the mat, freeing space in your neck. Then firm in your belly while firming the fronts of your thigh bones back. Maybe the heels descend closer to the floor. Maybe they don't, but try to keep the height of your hips. Feeling all of the space in your spine Imagine breathing up and down it another 3 breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in, bend your knees, look in front of your hands. While exhaling, walk to the front of your mat to stand in a forward fold. Parallel your feet apart, and with bent knees, press your hands on your shins or the ground to lift the chest forward, breathing in. Firm the belly, just like plank pose. Exhale, fold in. Press to your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead to rise. As you raise the arms, bend the left elbow with your right hand, catch hold of the left elbow. Firm down through the 4 corners of your feet and lift the sides of your torso. Draw the shoulder blades down, hug the front bottom ribs in, and start to side bend to your right. Feel your tailbone like a heavy anchor, reaching for the earth between your heels. As you breathe in, lift the middle spine, lengthen through the crown. As you breathe out, side bend a little further. Then firm the belly towards your spine and inhale to rise up. Straighten the arms, then bend your right elbow, catch hold of it with your left hand. Firm down to your feet, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, side bend to the left. Feel the tailbone anchor towards the space between your heels. Bottom front ribs seal in towards the back body, sides of the neck long. Take one more breath, side bending. Firm the belly towards the back. Inhale, rise, let your palms meet at the top. Exhale, bend the knees slightly as you fold with a feeling of a flat back. Press the ground of your legs. Inhale, lengthen forward, broadening your chest. Lower the fingertips. Exhale, step the left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge, feet hips width apart. Firm down to the right foot. Press your hands onto your right thigh to lift your torso upright. Then again, allow your tailbone to descend like an anchor as you lift your frontal hip bones. Drawing the right hip back, the left hip forward, firm them towards the midline, and keep lifting the back ribs away from the pelvis as you slide the shoulder blades down the back ribs. Breathe to broaden the chest. Either keep your hands right here, get a little more opening in the left hip flexor, or reach your hands behind your back. If your balance feels pretty stable, interlace the fingers there and draw the knuckles of your hands down the back of your left thigh. To the degree that you can continue to lengthen, not compress your lower back. Feel the collarbones broaden. Feel your heart lift. Feel the length in the back of your neck. Last 2 deep breaths. Exhaling, plant your hands flat on the mat. Step into your version of plank pose. You might start modified with your knees on the ground. Take 3 breaths. Inhale, look forward of your hands. Exhale, 3. Inhale, fingers spread, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, 2. Inhale, firm the belly, lengthen the spine. Exhale, shift forward. Bend your elbows to hug your side ribs, passing through a 90-degree bend, then lowering all the way down. Ground your pubic bone in the tops of your feet. Inhale into a baby cobra. Take a moment here, a few breaths, to float your hands off the ground and ground the feet more firmly as you bend the elbows close to your sides. Look slightly down, lengthen the sides of your neck. Then as you press the hands down, take one more breath. Tuck the toes behind you. Press up to downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the left leg behind you. Feel the squaring of your hips. As you exhale, bend your left knee towards your nose, lifting the belly. Softly land the foot inside of your left hand. Lower the right knee and tuck the toes. Root down to your left foot and press your hands into your front thigh. As you lift the spine upright, let the tailbone descend. Draw your left outer hip back, right hip slightly forward. And then feel the breath help find ease in the body. Either keep your hands right where they are or interlace your fingers behind your back. maybe switching the cross of the thumb and index, gliding the knuckles down the right glute, right hamstring, while lifting the back ribs away from the pelvis. Feel the space in the lower back. Last 2 breaths. Broaden your chest, lift your heart, soften your shoulder blades down your back. On an exhale, lower your fingertips at the top of your mat and step forward to fold. Inhale, press your legs to the floor, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Firm through the feet. Inhale, rise up, look up, palms meet. Exhale, trace your thumbs down your heart center, adding on. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, step the ball of your left foot back, step the right foot outside of the right hand, coming into a lizard lunge. We're gonna flow here. So as you breathe in, sink the pelvis. You could also put your left knee on the floor if that's more accessible to you. As you breathe out, begin to flex the right toes up and scissor the right hip back towards straightening the right leg, folding inside of it. Let's try a few times. Inhale, rebend the front knee to a lunge. Exhale, scissor the right hip back towards straightening the leg as you bow. 3 more breaths. Inhale, bend. Exhale, scissor and bow. Inhale, bend. Exhale, scissor and bow. Inhale, bend. This time set the back knee down if it isn't already, and with your left hand stable on the ground, use your right hand as you flex your right foot to gently press your inner right thigh to splay open. Lengthen your spine towards the front of your mat. And maybe start to look over your right shoulder for a bit of a spinal twist as you open deeper into the outer right hip. If it's reachable without strain, you could bend the left knee and reach for your left foot with your right hand, drawing the heel towards your glute, lengthening into your quadricep. For about 3 more breaths, you could also place the left forearm down onto the ground, if that feels like a good opening. Breathe in, breathe out. Give it 1 more inhalation. Release the back leg if you have it. Step right into plank pose. Holding plank for 1 inhalation. Firm the belly to the spine. Look forward and exhale, shift forward. Passing through chaturanga where the elbows bend 90 degrees. Come all the way down for cobra or flip the toes and come into upward dog. As you exhale, firming the belly, lift your hips back. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, raise the right leg behind you, squaring your hips. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose, rounding forward. Firm the belly, step the foot right inside the right hand. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Then, I see that we use the same leg here. We're gonna switch sides. So step your right foot back to downward facing dog. And set your left foot forward. There we go, that's the second side. And let's step the left foot outside of your left hand. So you have the option of staying on the ball of your right foot. If it feels like the ground's too low for your hands, you could lower the right knee. Let's flow. Inhale in the lunge, sinking the pelvis. Exhale, flex the left toes up, scissor the left hip back towards straightening the leg as you bow inside it. Inhale, bend the left knee, lunge again. Exhale, scissor left hip back and bow. 3 more breaths. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, scissor and bow. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, bow. Last round. From here, lower the right knee if it's not already. You're in lizard lunge. Flex the left foot to stabilize the knee, using your left hand to gently press the inner left thigh to splay open. If it feels okay on your neck, look over your left shoulder towards the rear of your mat. Perhaps you even bend the right knee and catch hold of the right foot with your left hand, bringing it towards you. Or you come down into your right forearm if that feels like a good amount of depth. As you listen into your body, listen into your breath. Two more cycles of breath here. If you have hold of your back foot, gently release it. Plant your hands at the top of your mat. Look forward. Step forward to fold. Inhale, press your legs to the floor, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold in. With your feet hips width apart, parallel, let's take a moment and modify chair pose. So bending your knees, sink your weight towards your heels, maybe the toes lift. Extend your arms forward with the palms face up, draw the shoulder blades down your back. Focus on your breathing. As you glide your weight back, look down, you should be able to see your toes. Then hug in the bottom of your front ribs, anchor the tailbone downward. Float the heart up and start to raise the arms just the amount that you can maintain space along the sides of your neck. Last in-breath, Utkatasana. Press to your feet and exhale to rise up. Tadasana. Breathe in. Release the arms. Breathe out. We're going to start the route for a new flow, and we'll start in a semi-flow as we mark it. So bring your feet together to touch. Bend your knees together to touch for a full round of chair pose. Inhale, sit back towards your heels, arms up. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the heart, Ardha Uttanasana, step to plank, and insert your version of a vinyasa. Whether it's cat-cow, lowering into cobra or upward dog, or holding still in plank. You could always skip this part. From downward dog, keep your hips squared. Inhale, raise the right leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose. Round to step the foot lightly inside the right hand. High lunge. Staying on the ball of your back foot, see that your feet are hips distance. Imagine as if you're dragging the feet towards each other to create stability in order to root down and rise up to crescent pose. Few breaths. Now you could bend the left knee, set it all the way down to the floor to modify this for more stability. Or use that bend to allow the tailbone to descend, orienting your pelvis more upright as you square your hips. Take another inhale, soften the shoulders. Then join your hands in prayer. Prepare for warrior two by sliding your right foot to the left a few inches to the middle of your mat, spinning the back heel down, then aligning right heel to the arch of your left foot. As your chest turns to face the left, open the arms and see that your wrists stack above your ankles. Feel your breath. Virabhadrasana 2. By turning in your left leg slightly, you allow the full turn out of your right leg from the hip. From warrior two, inhale. Lower the left hand to the left leg. Sweep the right palm overhead towards the rear of your mat into a lateral stretch. Peaceful warrior. Keep the same bend in your right knee. Be careful not to buckle it into the left. Take another inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands through plank into your vinyasa. Now, if you want more rigor coming down, you can lift the right leg as you lower to chaturanga. Both feet on the ground as you inhale to lift the chest. Then back to downward dog. Moving to your breath, inhale, raise the left leg, squaring your hips. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose, rounding forward, step the foot inside of the left hand. Feet are hips width apart, parallel. Scissor the legs energetically to root down and rise up. Nice transition. So you could bend the right knee to the floor. You could bend it a little to drop the tailbone, lift the frontal hip bones. Feel the left hip draw back slightly, the right hip forward. Take another breath, find ease in the shoulders. Join your hands in prayer. Slide the left foot a few inches to the right and drop the right heel. Aligning left heel to intersect arch of your right foot, open the arms. Virabhadrasana 2. Steady your eyes, just pass the left hand a few breaths here. Feel the right leg slightly turn inward to face the front of your mat. The left leg completely turn outward to face the front of your mats. Keep the bend in the front knee. Lightly land right hand on right leg and flip the left palm up. Sweep it overhead, peaceful warrior. As you relax the shoulders, feel the strength of navel drawing in towards your spine. On an exhale, cartwheel your hands to plank and take your version of vinyasa or none. We'll meet in downward facing dog. If you raised the right leg earlier, raise the left leg to balance it out. In downward facing dog, space out your breath. About 3 more cycles. How do you bring meaning into these movements, which benefit opening your body, strengthening your body? But how do you bring heartfelt meaning to it for yourself? Recognize your intention for your practice today. And let's flow with that. Bending your knees, look ahead of your hands, empty your breath, lift your pelvic floor to walk or lightly jump to the top. Feet touch. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Knees touch. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale to rise up. Now let's flow twice, the same sequence. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale through plank or float through chaturanga into your choice of vinyasa. Breathing in, breathing out, downward dog. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, step the foot lightly forward to a lunge. Root down to rise, crescent. Exhale to your left in warrior two. Flip the right palm, inhale, peaceful warrior. To the ground flow or meet a straight and downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Second side. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale the foot forward to a high lunge. Root down to rise as you breathe in, crescent pose. Turn to your right, exhale, warrior two. Flip the left palm, inhale, peaceful warrior. Cartwheel the hands to the ground, flow. Do whatever you need here. Breathe in. Breathe out. In downward facing dog, 3 slow, deep breaths. Feel yourself rebalancing the amount of energy you're exerting with your ability to pause, to allow ease. With bent knees, look forward. Bottom of the breath, lift your pelvic floor and lightly land, feet touching top of your mats. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees to touch. Inhale, sit low in chair, Utkatasana. Exhale to rise up. Last time. Inhale, chair, energizing. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen. Step to plank, lightly jump to chaturanga. Whatever is in your practice of flow, we'll meet in downward dog. Once there, inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, lightly step it forward to a high lunge. Inhale, rise to crescent pose. To your left, exhale, open up to warrior two. Flip the right palm, inhale, sweep it back, peaceful warrior. All the way to the ground, add your version of vinyasa. Kneading in, downward facing dog. Second side. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, step it forward to a high lunge. Inhale, rise to crescent. To your right, exhale, warrior two. Flip the left palm, inhale, peaceful warrior. All the way down, flow or be still. Know when to rest. Know when to spice it up. breathing out. Re-steady. So in the heat of this fire, let's bring the feet to touch in downward facing dog. Feel the fronts of your thighs engage as though you're trying to lift your kneecaps. As the feet touch, it's like you've empowered your two legs to create one more powerful. Then from the belly in, wrap your triceps towards the floor, broaden the shoulder blades across your upper back, and drop the head, lengthen your neck. Breathe. As you firm the navel towards your spine, shift forward to plank so your shoulders are right above your wrists. Set your elbows down exactly where your wrists are, shoulders distance apart, coming into forearm plank. Cross your right forearm to the left diagonally, pointing at the upper left corner of your mat. Roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, flexing your 2 feet as they stack. Use your left fingertips to push the mat away while lifting the right hip away from the mat. Breathe. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Perhaps you add raising the left arm, coming into a forearm side plank. Vashisthasana, about 3 more breaths. As you feel the strength in the right side of your waist, lifting the right hip, stack the left hip directly above. Elongate your tailbone towards your heels and press your heels towards the back of your mat. Last breath. Rotate the left tricep towards the left. Reach that arm overhead and come back down to forearm plank. Now either stay in forearm plank or take a rest by lowering your pelvis and legs in Sphinx pose. We're here for 3 breaths, whichever you choose. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Press your heart forward. Lengthen all the sides of your neck. How's your breathing? Nice job there. Now, if you're in Sphinx, press to your forearms, tuck your toes, come back to forearm plank. Let's enter side 2 by crossing the left forearm diagonally towards upper right corner of your mat. Feet together, flex, roll onto the outside edge of the left foot, stacking the feet. Use the right fingertips to press the mat as you lift the left hip, draw the shoulder blades down your back. Hug in the bottom front ribs, perhaps raise the right arm. About 3 more breaths. Imagine mountain pose, tilted on its side here, creating a strong line from the crown of your head, tailbone to heels. Wrap the right tricep towards the right side. Sweep the right arm overhead. Take your time coming into forearm plank. Stay a breath or few, your choice. We're going to meet in Sphinx pose for a few breaths again, where you eventually lower the legs and pelvis and stay on your forearms, lifting the chest. And as you come into Sphinx, slide your knees close together, point your toes back, and try to feel every toenail, especially the pinky toenails, pressing into the mat. Now feel your tailbone actively reaching towards the space between your heels, lengthening the lower back. We're setting up for Shalabhasana, which is a great way to strengthen the lower back, among many other things. So rest your forehead on the floor. Slide your arms straight back towards your thighs, palms face down. Press the pubic bone against the ground. And as you breathe in, press your heels back so much that you're able to lift the legs while coiling the chest up, also lifting your arms. Now give yourself 5 or so breaths before coming down to rest from here. Different variations could be opening the arms wide like wings, extending the arms forward so the palms face each other, and the upper arms align with the ears. But feel that you're not cranking the neck, the eyes are relaxed, the jaw is soft, breath is calm and steady. As you parallel the feet, inner thigh spirals towards the ceiling, outer thighs spiral towards the ground. And then when you decide to come down, you might turn your head to one side and give your neck a stretch, then to the other side. Maybe wiggle the hips left and right. About 3 breaths. Inhale into your stomach. Gently massage it against the earth. Exhale to your mouth, releasing a little heat. Again, inhale into your belly. Exhale to your mouth. One more breath. Slide your hands back so your wrists are alongside your floating ribs. Tuck your toes behind you. Hug your elbows close to your sides. As you press the heels back, feel your quadriceps firm, lifting the knees from the floor. Firm the belly, draw the chest forward, and press up into your version of plank. Take at least an inhalation in plank, then lift your pelvis back, downward facing dog. Bring your feet together to touch, bend your knees, lift your heels and hips. At the bottom of the breath, lift your pelvic floor to lightly land at the front of your mat. Forward folds. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold. Knees touch, prepare to twist in chair. Join your hands together at your hearts. As you breathe in, hug your midline from hips down to feet, lengthen the spine. As you breathe out, keep the knees in one line. Begin to rotate your ribcage to face the right. Inhale, maybe sink the hips a little lower. Draw your weight towards your heels. Exhale, use the obliques. You've just strengthened those side planks to keep twisting. About 3 more breaths. Relax the shoulder blades down the back. Maybe you hook the left elbow or forearm against the outer right thigh without compromising. Space in the lower back. Take a look at your knees and see that they stay in one line. Broaden the chest. Take one more full breath here in Parita Utkatasana, revolve chair. Nice work. Sit a little lower. Inhale the arms up in chair. Root down through your feet and exhale to rise up. Step the feet apart, hips width, parallel. Spiral your inner thighs slightly towards the rear of the mat while anchoring your tailbone downward. Bring your hands to your lower back as if you're entering camel pose. Lift the back ribs away from your pelvis, then coil your chest up. Hug your elbows close together. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Last 2 breaths. Gently press your hips forward, opening up into your hip flexors, front of your torso. Then roll your spine upright and bring your feet together to touch. Second side of revolve chair, knees together. Bend your knees, sink your weight back into your heels. Join your hands at your hearts. Breathe in, let the pelvis sink as the spine lifts. Breathe out, rotate your rib cage to face the left, little by little. You might use your right arm as leverage against your left thigh. Keep drawing the shoulder blades away from the neck. Feel that your hips are lower than your heart. See that your 2 knees are in one line. Last 2 breaths. Parita Utkatasana. Great posture for promoting digestion. Sink your hips a little lower. Inhale the arms overhead in chair. Press to your feet. Exhale to rise up. Again, separate your feet hips width. This time, raise the arms overhead and hook your thumbs like an eagle. Draw the tailbone down. Gently press the hips forward. As you lift the back ribs, create space in the lower back. Right under your shoulder blades, coil your chest up. Draw the shoulders down and use the reach of the arms up to lengthen the side waist. 2 more breaths. Standing back bend. Firm the belly in, bend the knees slightly, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Place your hands to the ground. Step the right foot as far back as you can and pivot your feet to face the right. Come up halfway in a wide-legged forward fold. Feet are parallel, very wide apart. Then bend your knees and bring your hands to your hips. Lead with your chest and inhale to rise all the way up. So I'm not going to mirror what I'm saying here since I told you to step the right foot back. I'm just going to do the same foot you're doing. So as you have your feet almost as wide of a stance as you would in Warrior 2, we're going to set up for Triangle, which is a slightly shorter stance. From your hips, rotate your legs and pivot your feet to the right. So your right foot is your front foot. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot and keep your legs straight. Engage the fronts of your thighs. Turn your chest completely towards this wide side of your mat as you open the arms. Slide your pelvis towards your rear foot, that's your left foot, and reach your right hand past your right knee, lowering the hand to your leg or just to the right of your leg without losing length in that right side body. So rotate the right outer hip under your body, press the crease of your right hip back towards your outer left foot, firm down through both feet and raising the left arm, feel that one long line across your arms. Breathe. If it feels okay on your neck to look up past your left thumb, steady your gaze there. Otherwise, try looking forward or down towards your right big toe. Soften the shoulder blades away from your neck. Lengthen the top of your head past the edge of your mat of your right foot. Uddita Trikonasana for 3 more breaths. Feel your front ribs, especially if you know you're very back bendy. Hug the bottom front ribs in towards the back. Spiral the chest slightly up towards the sky. Moving on to half moon pose, you might transition by placing left hand on your left hip. Steady your gaze on the floor in front of your right foot. Steady your breathing. Bend your right knee, crawl your right fingertips ahead of and to the right diagonally of your right pinky toe. Drag your left foot forward and flex the foot, lifting the left heel to the height of your hip. Press the right hip crease again back towards your outer left heel, just like you did in triangle to lengthen the right side body. And turn your chest completely to your left side, perhaps raising the left arm to recreate that straight line across your arms. Breathe. Feel steady through your center as you engage belly to spine. Feel space from the top of your head, neck, tailbone to inner left heel. Any variation you want to play with, bringing the hands in prayer, looking up, bending left knee towards belly, catching the foot in full moon pose. 2 or more breaths here. As you're ready to land, bend the right knee, softly step left foot back, landing warrior 2. Flip the palms to face up, bring the thumb and index finger to touch, and close your eyes for 3 breaths in warrior 2. Feel the strength of your rootedness as you feel the earth beneath your feet. Feel the openness of your lungs as you fill them with your breath. Keep the stance and just straighten the legs, open your eyes. Now rotate from your hips, pivot your feet exactly to the other end of your mat. So now for me, the left foot is the front leg. Align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot, preparing for triangle. Keep the legs straight. Engage the front of your thighs, reopen your arms. Slide your pelvis towards your rear leg, that's the right foot, and reach the left hand past the left knee, then lower to your leg, or just slightly to the left of it. Wrapping the left outer hip underneath your body, press the crease of your left hip back towards your outer right foot. Feel both sides, left and right of your torso lengthen, just like your neck as you press the shoulder blades down your back. Feel the straight line across your arms, maybe looking up towards right thumb. Feel the bottom of your front ribs seal in towards your back as you spiral your chest slightly up towards the sky. Last 3 breaths, Uddita Trikonasana. So this is a blueprint for the next posture we're about to get into. So feel the qualities of firming down through both feet as you straighten the legs, expanding through all your limbs like a star reaching in all directions. To transition, look down past your left foot. Maybe place right hand on right hip. Bend your left knee, place the left fingertips forward and to the left, outer upper corner from your left foot. Drag the right foot forward and flex it as you lift the heel to the height of your hip. Again, press the crease of your left hip back towards your lifted right heel and re-lengthen that left underside of your torso while turning your chest completely to the right side. Stacking right shoulder above left wrist, maybe stacking right wrist all the way above. How's your breathing? Any variations you'd like to explore, maybe bringing the hands to prayer, Maybe bending right knee towards belly to catch the foot in full moon. At least 2 more deep breaths. Beautiful focus. When you're ready, bend the left knee, softly land warrior 2. As you open the arms in warrior 2, flip the palms to face up, bring thumb and index finger to touch. Close your eyes, full breaths. Keep the wide stance. We're going to come into a wide-legged squat, so turning out both legs from the hips. Bend your knees to turn out and just make sure you're keeping your knees safe as you rock the hips side to side by aligning the middle of each kneecap with each middle toe underneath. And then roll your inner thighs back. Let the tailbone sink down as the frontal hip bones lift. Lengthen your spine as you bend the knees and breathe. Exhale, twist to one side, looking over that shoulder, rotate the chest, let's flow. Inhale up through center, knees bent. Exhale, twist to the other side, look over the shoulder. One more round, inhale center, knees bent. Exhale, twist, inner thighs roll open. Inhale center, exhale twist. And inhale center. Raise the arms from down through the feet and straighten the legs. And just let the arms open like a V. Maybe close your eyes. Feel this expansion in all directions. Feel your breath flowing freely as though it could move up and down your spine. The spine like a channel. Take another breath in. Raise the arms a little bit higher, but relax the shoulders. And then exhale, bend the knees open wide and let the palms slowly press down in front of you towards the earth. Feel your body's connection to the earth. Feel your connection to Mother Earth. Reground your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms and straighten the legs again. And this time, bend both knees and just start to sway over to the right side. Just to a comfortable extent, and then forward, over to the left side. Just being curious of the space around your body. If it feels more stable to heel toe the feet a little closer together, take it over to the other side. Maybe close your eyes and start to bring this feeling of swimming in the space around you as you allow the movements to become more organic. Breathe in, breathe out. As you feel into the sensations in your body, observe in which way it wants to move to feel openness, to explore space within and around. Perhaps going upside down by dropping the skull, just making sure your legs are supporting you, perhaps bending the knees. Feel the shift of an inversion energetically, visibly as you look at the world upside down. Breathe in. Breathe out like a young infant just learning how to explore the world by standing. Can you bring that feeling into your stance? Curiosity, openness, enthusiasm. Taking a few more breaths. Trusting your own felt sense as you eventually land sitting down. Whenever you're ready, take your time. We'll bring the soles of the feet together when you do land sitting for bound angle, Baddha Konasana. Bending the knees apart, lift your heart when you're there, ground the sitting bones, and with a long, spacious spine, hinge forward from your hips. Anywhere you want to explore the hands, holding your feet, reaching them forward, crawling them over to the right a few breaths, to the left a few breaths. Allow your exhalations to increase in length, a little slower than your inhalations, feeling that sense of release through the breath. cooling down through the breath. Eventually lift your spine upright. Step your feet onto the mat. In front of you, sit at the middle of your mat. Separating your feet hips width, parallel. Extend the arms forward, palms turned up. In this gesture of openness and receiving, feeling your own strength as you begin to lower one vertebra at a time, head last. And once lying on your back, slide your feet back to prepare for bridge or upward facing bow. Locate your feet. Basically, you want them to be where you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not quite. Parallel your feet and press the floor with them as you lift the pelvis. If you're going to bridge, you could slide the upper arms under your back ribs and maybe clasp your hands. If you're going to upward bow, hands are alongside your ears, fingertips pointing at your shoulders. Arms stay parallel as you come onto the crown of your head, and then perhaps push the floor away, lifting the head off the ground. So remember when we were doing standing back bends, really being mindful of lengthening and not compressing the lower back. By elongating the tailbone towards the space between your knees as you parallel your thighs and parallel your feet. Lifting the back ribs while sliding the shoulder blades down the back ribs. And when you're ready, take your time lowering one vertebra at a time. And just take a moment to sway the knees to the right once you've landed. Sway the knees to the left lazily. Very slow, gentle, moving twist. If you have it in you to practice one more back bend of your choice, feel free. Bridge, upward bow, roll on your belly, catch your feet for bow. Otherwise, just drop the knees together, lying on your back, feet a little wider than hips width, and rest your left hand on your heart, right hand on your lower belly. Take about 5 more breaths, whether you're practicing a back bend again or you're lying here in a restorative. Nice, paralleling your legs there, Andrea. And when you do come all the way down to your back, slide your left leg straight ahead on the ground, bend your right knee into your chest, and catching hold of your right knee with your two hands, begin to rotate your right thigh bone at the hip socket. Just isolating movement in that right hip joint. Go in the opposite direction. Then straighten the right leg up. If your hamstring feels a bit tight, you could bend the left knee, but try to keep the right leg straight. Flex the right foot. And begin to bring that right leg closer to your chest. Maybe walking your hands up towards the calf, towards the ankle. Imagine breathing into the belly of your hamstring, the back of your right thigh. Relax the shoulders down. 2 more breaths. A little compression into the right lower belly with that right thigh, helping to stimulate your digestive organs. Rebend your right knee. Circle out the right foot, maybe point it. Then slide your right leg straight ahead on the ground. Bend your left knee into your chest. As you hold your left bent knee, begin to circle the left leg at the hip a few times. Both directions. Also helping to loosen up your lower back here. Feel your breathing. Then flexing your left foot, straighten the left leg up, bring your hands to the back of the leg. If your hamstring feels resistant on this left side, bend your right knee, but try to keep your left leg straight so that hamstring can fully benefit. Walking your hands up the back of your left leg, maybe towards your calf or ankle. Imagine breathing into the back of the leg as you press the inner thigh against your left lower belly. Last 2 deep breaths. From here, set your 2 legs straight on the ground. Point your toes. If you want to circle out that left foot like we did on the first side, you can. Raise your arms overhead, maybe interlace the fingers inside out, and get a long stretch to your body. Splay the feet apart, wider than hips width. Get really long. Take a deep inhale. Hold the breath in. Tense up your face. And then open the mouth, release the arms. Down by your sides, palms face up, and close your eyes. Allow your body to arrive at stillness. Allow your breath to find a natural pace. We'll be in Shavasana for a few minutes before a brief meditation. As you keep your eyes closed and feel your body, if you prefer to stay lying down for the next 2 or 3 minutes, feel free not to move. If you prefer to join us for a seated meditation, slowly bend your knees into your chest and turn gently to your right side. Pressing the ground, lift your body up and find a comfortable seat upright. You might rest your left hand on your heart, right hand on your lower belly, or join the thumb and index, palms at your lap. As you close your eyes, continue to breathe naturally. Feel what you're sitting on. Notice your body. Feel the way that your body is naturally breathing. Observe your mental space. As your body breathes, expand your awareness to your emotions. As you remain stable in a seat of consciousness, if you're still lying down, begin to make your way up slowly, sitting. Slide your palms to meet at your heart as you bow in. With gratitude for this practice, for this body, for this breath, for this community, let's close together chanting one Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.